Hey, how's it going everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use this indicator that I created called the Glitch Trend Band. I'm also going to be going into how to add it to your charts, and then I'm going to be showing you just briefly how it works. And then we'll dive into how to identify market trends. And if you stick around to the end, I will also be showing you how I use it to trade. Just be going over that to the end. So starting off here with showing you guys how to add it to your chart and the settings that I also use for this specific indicator. So to add it to your chart, I simply have the link down in the description. If you just click on that link, and you add it straight to your favorites, add it to favorites in your indicator. All you have to do here is simply go into TradingView, click on indicators, and if you search Glitch Trend Band, it will show right up. If you just clicked on that link and added it to your favorite indicators, it will show right up here. So just click on it and you will see it show up on your chart here. So now this is just the basic default settings. So it does have buy and sell signals for you, as well as the coloring is set to this color just by default. But the simple settings that I use just to give it a nice clean look, I do turn off the buy and sell signals. It is a nice feature if you want to use it, but for now I just turn them off. If you go in here to the band color, I keep the color the same. I just turn down the opacity here down to about 45, and then I simply go up here and change this EMA color to black, and then this SMA color, I just keep that a light gray. So that's the basic settings I keep for it. Now this kind of gets into how it works. It simply is the 200 exponential moving average and the 200 simple moving average. You want to have both of these. By default are set to 200. You can change it if you want to use some different EMA or SMA settings. But for this video, I'm simply using the 200 exponential moving average and the 200 simple moving average. So what it does is it simply, the area in between these two, it simply fills it in and gives you a nice clean look for your chart instead of just having the EMA and the SMA. Fills it in, makes it a lot easier to use in my opinion. So if you see here on the top, you have this dark exponential moving average, and then you have the simple moving average. So now that we went over what basic settings I use and how it works, let's go into how you use it to trade and how you use it to identify market trends with it. So starting off, you want to find 3 different trends using this indicator. So first of all, you want to find the very high time frame trend, and then you want to find the high time frame trend, and then you want to find as well a low time frame trend. So we'll be going over this in depth here. Not always will there be a very clean trend for all of these, but what you want to do is you want to try to find 3 trends. So the very high time frame trend, then you want to find a high time frame trend and a low time frame trend to trade with. So how we do this is we start out here on the 4-hour time frame. All you're going to do is have this indicator added to your chart. And what you want to do is you simply want to switch time frames until you find which trend this market is respecting. So we're just using Bitcoin as an example here. So let's try to find what trend this is respecting. So starting off here with the very high time frame trend. So the very high time frame trend is likely going to be on the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is what I use for my very high time frame trend. So if you take a look here, you can see this daily trend very nicely respected. So held as resistance, flipped it into support, retested it, continued higher, tested it once again, continued higher, and then we did lose it. But then you can see once we lost it, held it as resistance until we were able to reclaim it and continued higher. And just recently, we ended up testing it, lost it, and you can see held as resistance here, and then we got a reclaim and continuation higher. So what we're going to do here is use this daily trend as our very high time frame trend. So this is our very high time frame trend. So now let's see if we can identify a high time frame trend. So We zoom in here, maybe the 4-hour time frame. Let's see. Wasn't tested at all on the way down and just blasted right through it here. Was respected over here, but it looks like recently it has not been respected at all. So maybe the 3-hour, nope, maybe the 2-hour. Let's see. Okay, so you can see this 2-hour trend is very nicely respected here. So it held as support on the way up and then held as resistance on the way down, and then we reclaimed it, even gave you a little retest kind of ish over here, and then we got continuation higher from there. So now we have identified the very high time frame trend, the high time frame trend, and now let's see if we can identify a low time frame trend. So something probably under the hourly time frame. So let's start off with maybe the 15-minute. So 15-minute just looks like it is not being respected, just being chopped up at the moment. So maybe the 30-minute. So yeah, I'm going to say the 30-minute. Now, it's not going to be perfectly respected every time, but you can see held as resistance on the way down and reclaimed, ended up losing it, held it as resistance and continuation lower. We kind of just want to neglect this price action here because it was simply ranging. But once we started trending, you can see even here we held it as support, and this last test as well, it held as support. So you can see how you can clearly identify a trend in the market. So basically you can see it is uptrending on all time frames currently. So it is above the very high time frame trend as well as the high time frame trend, that 2-hour trend, and it is above this 30-minute trend as well. So basically what we want to look for to trade off of this is simply looking to identify the trend, which we did. We identified those 3 trends, and then we want to look to trade off of those. So what you want to do is you want to have some kind of confluence, ideally with the trend, to give you a nice trade entry. So what you want to do is you want to have 3 trade triggers here. So what you want to do is you want to have the trend, which we identified the trends, and then you want to have support, and then you want to have, ideally, this is not mandatory, but you want to have some kind of market structure confluent as well. So you want to have these 3 triggers for you to take a trade. So basically how this works is, as long as it is above this low time frame trend, you cannot expect a test of that high time frame trend, because it will continue uptrending as long as this trend holds. Now, if we break down below this low time frame trend, you could look for a test of that 2-hour trend then, because the low time frame trend has been lost. But if this high time frame trend holds, look for continuation higher. And likewise, if this trend were to break down, you would get a test of that high time frame trend, that very high time frame trend on the daily time frame. But if we are going to take a trade here, let's just say you want to take a swing long on the lower time frame. So you can see here we have some nice support here that it looks like it is being flipped into support. Was previous resistance, but flipped into support. So now let's see if this lower time frame trend. So you can see this 30-minute trend that we identified, uptrending, held last time. So this would be one option for you to take a trade. We have identified the trend, so this 30-minute trend, you can see, and then we also have identified support. And then also you can see, if we would zoom out here a bit to the 4-hour time frame, identifying some market structure. So you would be forming a higher low, hopefully in this region along that trend and support, and then looking for continuation higher. So here's how the trade setup would look. You would simply look to take an entry right here. So let me just draw out this price action for you real quick. Let's say we get some more consolidation here, and then we get a test of this trend with that support. So you want to enter on that test of this trend, confluent with the support level, and then look to put your stop loss. Ideally, you want to have it below this low over here because you want it to hold more, higher low here somewhere in this region. Now, in this case, you could simply put it a little bit higher here since you're playing into the low time frame trend. I oftentimes just hide my stop loss below the trend. So simply have your stop loss a couple percentage below the trend where it would be clearly lost. And as far as your targets, simply target that next level. So for me, the next level here would be this $71,000, $72,000 level here. So you can see how we very quickly have a very nice 3, almost 4-hour trade here on the low time frame. So now if you're not comfortable trading low time frames, you could look to trade, look for a test of that high time frame trend. So let's zoom out here to that 2-hour trend. So remember, we want to have these 3 things aligned for our trade. So you can see 2-hour trend holding as resistance. We now look for it to be flipped into support. So let's identify some support. Looks like there's some decent support right around here. You can see held as support over here, was then flipped into resistance and flipped into support once again. So we'll likely hold as support if tested again. So in this case, we identified the trend here. Let's say this 2-hour trend right here would be confluent with this support level. We would end up losing that low time frame trend if we got a test of this 2-hour trend. So you would look for a test of this 2-hour trend. And same thing as that previous trade I showed you, you want to enter on support as well as hiding your stop loss below the trend, and then look to target that next level. So that next level here would be 71.72. Above there, it would be about 73.8 region. But yeah, you can also see very nice setup, a little over a 4-hour trade, depending exactly how you put your mark, exactly how this plays out, where the trend is and where you have your stop loss. But you can see how this makes some very clean trade setups here that you can make some nice money on. So just to recap real quick, what you want to do is you want to identify very high time frame trend, high time frame trend, and then the low time frame trend. And then your trade, your triggers for your trade is simply identify the trend, which you did in this previous step over here. And then you want to have support and then market structure. Not always mandatory, but it does give you additional confirmation for your trade. So simply three main things. You identify your trend, and then you identify a support level, and then you identify a market structure and take your trade if all 3 of these are aligned, especially if 2 of these are aligned. That would be your trigger to entry. So if you guys do want to see some more in-depth analysis on this or live charts, I do post inside of my Telegram. Link will be in the description. It's completely free. I do daily market updates there. And as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I do a lot of charts on there, a lot more educational content on there as well if you want. Any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll try to get to them. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Go out there, add it to your chart, take some trades, and see how it works for you. Let me know in the comments how it works. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.